Hi learners and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a very important concept from literary criticism, and that is the touchstone method given by Matthew Arnold. This is a very important topic even from the exam point of view, from the UGC NET point of view. Before I start to explain that, a few things. First of all, this concept was talked about by Matthew Arnold in his essay The Study of Poetry. Now, second thing, understand the word touchstone first of all. See, the ancient people, they would actually test the purity of gold using a touchstone. This image that you see, this dark colored thing that you see, this was used to test the purity of gold. So essentially what is being done, we are testing the purity of something, we are testing the quality of gold by comparing it to something. This is the sense that Arnold also uses this word touchstone, as in he says that touchstone method, this is a way of judging the quality of literature. How? By comparing it to a standard or to an idol. So he's saying that you use a standard to test the worth of literature. See, understand how this works, okay? First of all, you establish a standard, okay? So Arnold believed that certain works of literature, they represented the best of human thought and creativity. So these works become the touchstone against which other literature can be compared. For example, Shakespeare's plays or the poetry of Wordsworth might be considered touchstones. Okay. Now, the next thing that you do is that you compare the literature. Okay. So, with the touchstone in mind, readers can compare other works of literature to see how they measure up. So, if a piece of writing shares qualities with the touchstone, for example, it has deep insights into the human nature or a beautiful language or some enduring themes, then that work that is being compared, that might be considered to be valuable. The touchstone method actually allows the readers to judge the quality of literature based on its ability to meet the standards set by the touchstone. If a work falls short of the touchstone in terms of depth, originality, or artistic merit, it may be considered inferior. I'll give you a very simple example from a Korean drama from my own personal experience. Okay, now there is this beautiful Korean drama called Goblin. Now for me, Goblin is like the touchstone. For me, it has set the standards, and nothing really compares to Goblin. As in, it's very difficult that I find something which is close to Goblin, the standard that it had set. So for me, that Goblin, that drama, that becomes the touchstone that I compare other serials, other K-dramas to. Or if I talk about the American sitcoms, then you have Friends or you have the Big Bang Theory. And then again, they are kind of like touchstones when it comes to the sitcom genre. See, by exposing oneself to literature that meets the touchstone standard, Arnold believed that readers could cultivate their taste and appreciation for the best that literature has to offer. Over time, readers might develop a deeper understanding of what makes literature truly great. So I keep on reading, let's say, Shakespeare, okay, because that meets the touchstone standard. So what would happen when you expose yourself to Shakespeare and his works, and even the best of the Shakespeare, because not all works of Shakespeare are going to pass that touchstone method, okay? So the best of Shakespeare, the best that Shakespeare has to offer, if I expose myself to his works, for example, I can cultivate that taste. I can actually come to appreciate the best that literature has to offer. So over time, what will happen, that I as a reader would also develop a kind of deeper understanding of what actually makes literature great. So when I actually watch good cinema, I expose myself to good cinema, then I develop that taste. I develop that appreciation for cinema, the best that it has to offer, and over time I can actually distinguish good and bad cinema. Okay, so in simple terms, the touchstone method is like using a gold standard to judge the value of other metals. That was a touchstone, right? That you use a standard to judge the value of gold or other metals. So he used that word in context of literature. Arnold used that in context of literature, suggesting that using the best works of literature as a standard to judge the quality of other literary works. This is what he meant by the touchstone method. Again, this is just one concept by Matthew Arnold, which is very important. He has talked about so many other things, and not just that, literary criticism itself has so many important concepts which are important from the exam point of view, from the UGC NET or SET or GATE or any kind of literary competitive examinations, because Matthew Arnold is somebody that you do study in your undergrad or postgrad especially, like in your MA. I talk about all these things in my detailed online lectures. You can visit my website, theankitajain.com. You can either opt for the entire course, where I have 12 blocks or 12 modules covering the entire length and breadth of the syllabus, or you can actually individually opt for separate blocks. In this case, you can opt for literary criticism only. You can find all the details on my website. I leave the link to that in the description box below. In case of any queries, you can always reach out to us, the details of which you'll again find in the description box. I'll take your leave here, and we'll meet soon in the next lecture.